I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to go live yesterday, but I was extremely busy. Today might be another busy day, but I wanted to come on and say hello to everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm trying to find myself here so I can turn stuff on. Just give me a second. So come on in, like the video as you guys come in. I appreciate everyone for being here. I hope everyone is doing well. It's been a minute. Yes, it has. So let's go ahead and do the disclaimer. There I am. So, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comma, comments, comma, news reporting, comma, teaching, comma, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I had promised quite a few people that I would be going back live in March. We're just kind of doing a test run, just testing it out. Yesterday, of course, Diddy had his trial. They're doing jury selection, and many people were talking about how will this work? You know, will he get a fair trial? Who does not know? Who does not know what's been reported? Like we said before, it's very important that we state he's innocent of proving guilty. A judge jury is going to have to decide if there's any wrongdoing on his part. So let me go ahead and get this going because I'm still trying to get myself in here. So come on in, come on in. I hope everyone's doing well. Let me know, will you be following the trial? The biggest thing is who will take the stand, who will have to testify, who will plead the fifth. Um, there's going to be a lot that's going to be talked about. Mm, um, just give me 1 second. I'm still okay. So there I am right there. Okay. Um, yeah. I hope everyone's doing well. Come on in. Come on in. Like the video as you guys come in. Yeah. Um, yeah. It keeps doing that. Okay. Um. Come on in, come on in. Thanks for being here, everyone. Oh, yeah, everyone's coming in. Hi. It's been a minute. We're gonna talk Diddy, some of the trial stuff. I already pulled up some stuff for you guys. I know that you guys like for me to pull up things that's being talked about in the news, and that's what we're gonna do. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. I appreciate you being here. Hi. J3MMY. Hello, good morning. You're my first one in here. I appreciate everyone. I literally have the kindest people, and that's literally why I'm going live. Wasn't feeling it, but I'm here. Wasn't feeling it, but I am here. So we're gonna go ahead and play a few different clips, so we can get down to what's going on, what's being talked about. I know my people like for us to pull knowledge, get knowledge of what's really being said. Even some of the stuff I was watching last night, it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? And what does that mean? And what does that mean? So we're gonna pull a few clips so we can talk about what's being talked about. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Come on in, come on in. Hello, hello, hello. So we're gonna go ahead and get to some of these clips. A lot of times I have to play the clips right at the 9 to 10 minute mark. So let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're watching from. What do you think is going to transpire about the trial? I'm hearing different things about the Michael B. Jordan. So let's get into that too. It's being reported that some celebrities' names are going to be mentioned, whether that means they're going to have to testify or whether that means that their name was brought up in a situation. If the Michael B. Jordan situation, hello, hello, good morning. Hello, let me know where you're chiming in from. Press 3 if you're new, press 5 if you've been here before, or I might have switched it. It's been like 2 months, you guys. I've been doing shorts. Press 3 if you're new and where you're watching from. Press 5 if you've been here before and where you're watching from. Hello, Vegas. Hello, hello. So yeah, the Michael B. Jordan name being mentioned, that might be because I've heard it from different situations. It might be that Cassie was befriending, this is being alleged, Cassie was befriending Michael B. Diddy allegedly did not like that. That's what I'm hearing. Other people are trying to tag it into if he attended parties. And you guys got to realize there's different types of parties. Sometimes there's business events, people interacting, or I'm in this play, or I'm doing this movie. Sometimes there's day events too. Not everything is raunchy at night. Many celebrities have said, I haven't seen anything, I haven't heard anything, but we do know that whenever he's with certain people, you'll see him collecting phones. Even when he's with his children, he has collected phones. So there's different type of events, different type of situations. Sometimes he's doing the dad thing with his kids, sometimes he's hanging with his children. I've seen a video with his kids, Young Miami. So not every situation was somebody walking through, you get to one section to another section to another section. And I might talk about that too. I don't know. We'll think about that because I kind of wanted to ask one of my friends, because they had said that they've heard friends go to different events and there's different rooms, and I was like, I would have never thought that they would have gone to something like that. It's like, yeah, they were younger and they kind of told me about it. It's like, oh, okay. And I wanted to ask more, but it was like, okay, I've heard enough about the Diddy stuff. I don't know if I want to hear about your friend. So, um, but the Michael B. Jordan, and the biggest thing is, what celebrity will we be surprised about? Who attended? Who will have to testify? Who would plead the fifth? I'm thinking, and a lot of people are saying, are some of these celebrities kind of scared that their name and brands could be affected? Their names and brands could be affected. But like I said before, even though if they went to an event, that don't mean they stayed late. Not all late was that. We're hearing that different stuff happening at hotels. So if some of the celebrities didn't go to some of these hotels, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. To Let's Talk About It Media 21. It's been about 2 months. I've been doing a lot of shorts. Check out my shorts. But yeah, we're gonna talk Diddy today. This is day two. Yesterday they did jury selection. I'm sure today will pretty much be the same thing, possibly jury selection. And yes, continue to hit the like button, you guys. Um, but yeah, some of the jurors are saying, yes, we've heard certain things. And I posted a short in regards to some of the people said that they've heard things from Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm sure they've heard things from YouTube. I'm sure they've heard things from TikTok. And see, this is what I need people to understand. When jury selected, they don't know which court case they're going to hear. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people are going to know what jury case you're going to hear. So a lot of these people have heard the news, they've seen YouTube videos, they've heard TikTok videos, they've seen things on Twitch, they've seen things on Twitter. So some of these people have heard things, and they're not going to lie to a judge saying, hey, I'm a media person. Hey, I work for HBO, or hey, I work for. So certain people won't know which court case they're going to be a part of. So they have to be open and honest. You know what I mean? Now, let me know in the comments, would you guys want to be a part of the jury? Would you guys want to be a part of the jury? And like I've said before in all my videos, he's innocent till proven guilty. A judge or jury will have to decide if there's any wrongdoing on his side. I've said that from day one. My page is a little different because would you want to be a part of the jury? I'm paying attention to that. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, everyone. A lot of new people. Welcome, welcome. And you guys have to understand, my page was so small 6 7 months ago. I had like 3,000 subscribers. Once I started doing the Diddy stuff, my page grew overnight. I gained like 30,000 subscribers in like a 2 month period. Check me out. We work really hard over here. Hmm. So, like I said, a judge jury will have to decide if there's any wrongdoing on his side. But what we're about to do, we're about to get into these videos, y'all. We're almost at the 10-minute mark. That's when I like to start playing videos after the 10-minute mark, where we're almost there. So I'm about to cue up this video so we can hear what's being said. Some of the videos will play a little fast. That's what we have to do. But a lot of my people can keep up. I'm just waiting for this ad to go past so I can hit the proper button. So come on in, come on in, come on in. Like the video as you guys come in. My numbers are doing good, even though I haven't been live for a while, you guys. I appreciate you being here. Okay, let's get to this clip. And see, there's a lot of things I have to do on my side. So I'm glad I remember a lot of stuff. Hey. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Okay, so we're about to get to this clip. Come on in.
Federal court today for the start of his sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Fox 5 New York's Briella Tomasetti joining us live in Lower Manhattan with more on what to expect from today's proceedings. Briella, good morning.
Gina, good morning to you. Sean Diddy Combs built a business empire. He also had a stake in the fashion world. Today, though, he is pleading not guilty to federal charges. A pool of...
Please like the video as you guys come in. Please like the video as you guys come in. Come on and say hi. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before and where you're watching from. Let's get to the clip.
Jurors tasked with deciding whether or not he spends the rest of his life in prison. Back in September, Sean Diddy Combs was indicted on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He was arrested at a Manhattan hotel where he had been staying in anticipation of his eventual indictment, and he's been held without bail ever since then. Prosecutors allege that Combs used his business...
Are you guys surprised that he's been held without bail? Let me know in the comments. Are you guys surprised that his bail has been denied as many times as it's been denied? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue. Fair use, reaction clip.
Empire to conduct freak-offs, which they describe as highly orchestrated sex performances. They also claim he used his power and influence to force...
Hello, Australia. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, everyone.
Women into participating. The judge presiding over the trial, Arun Subramanian, was nominated to the Southern District by former President Joe Biden in 2022 and confirmed by the U.S. Senate a year later. He ruled last week that Combs can wear non-prison clothing in the trial, and he's also allowing the 2016 surveillance video of Cassie Ventura being beaten by Combs to be used in court. The federal case revolves around 4 alleged victims who are all, by the way, expected to testify. This week, prosecutors and defense lawyers will choose 12 jurors plus 6 alternates. Attorney Amanda Riemann is not associated with the trial, but weighed in on what is expected to be a complicated process.
When the prosecution is interviewing people for jury selection, they're going to be eliminating people who really...
Okay, now they're going to talk about the jury selection. Let's listen in. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you know where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before and where you're watching from. And please hit the like button. All you have to do is double tap that screen. All you have to do is double tap that screen to hit the like, or hit the like above the video, below the video. Let's continue.
Idolize this rapper who have been big fans of this song since they were young teenagers. They're going to want that person acting.
Hello, London. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, London.
On the other hand, the defense is going to be thinking, okay, well, wait a minute. This potential juror, they sympathize with women. They might be a little too sympathetic.
Now, alleged victims will be allowed to remain anonymous and use pseudonyms if they wish. Again, jury selection starting at 8:30, just a little while away from now, and then opening statements, if all goes according to schedule, will begin on Monday, May 12th. We are watching the courthouse closely, Gina. No high-profile arrivals just yet, but
morning,
it's a busy
Texas.
day here with media already swarming the area directly outside. We'll send it back inside to you.
So you got to remember, this was yesterday's stuff, because remember, I could not go live yesterday. So we're talking about yesterday stuff. Okay, we're about to play the next clip. Like the video as you guys come in. Welcome, London. Welcome, Texas. One of the messages was deleted from YouTube. So you got to be careful with your comments, you guys. Be careful with your comments. But please like the video as you guys come in. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. I'm getting the next video ready, so just give me a second. Like the video as you guys come in. Like the video as you guys come in. Okay, hold on one second. And yes, I have to stop it, play it. Yes, I have to stop it, play it.
In the trial of Sean Diddy Combs, the disgraced music mogul is charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty. Christina Fan is live outside the courthouse in
Fair use reaction clip. Fair use reaction clip.
Lower Manhattan with the latest on the proceedings. Christina.
Good afternoon, Cindy. In-person questioning of prospective jurors began earlier this morning. The judge overseeing this case plans on bringing in at least 50 prospective jurors every day until a jury of 12 people and 6 alternates is formed. Even though dozens of men and women have filed civil lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, this criminal trial is focused on the accusations of 4 people, including his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Jury selection is underway in the federal sex trafficking case of Sean Diddy Combs. The 55-year-old hip-hop mogul faces 5 counts, including racketeering conspiracy and transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors allege he ran a criminal enterprise that coerced women into participating in drug-fueled sexual escapades known as freak-offs involving male prostitutes. Combs' legal troubles began nearly 2 years ago when ex-girlfriend singer Cassie Ventura filed a civil lawsuit against him, alleging years of physical and sexual abuse.
Now, some people are feeling that Cassie shouldn't have a say. I don't know if she's going to hit the stand, not hit the stand, but some people feel that she should not have to have a say, but I think she should. She experienced a lot. We don't know what was said to her. We don't know what was said to her family. Like the videos, you guys come in. Like the videos, you guys come in.
Is formed. Even though dozens of men and women have filed civil lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, this criminal trial is focused on the accusations of 4 people, including his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Jury selection is underway in the federal sex trafficking case of Sean Diddy Combs. The 55-year-old hip-hop mogul faces 5 counts, including racketeering conspiracy and transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors allege he ran a criminal enterprise that coerced women into participating in drug-fueled sexual escapades known as freak-offs involving male prostitutes. Combs' legal troubles began nearly 2 years ago when ex-girlfriend singer Cassie Ventura filed a civil lawsuit against him, alleging years of physical and sexual abuse. The 2 settled, though dozens more cases have been filed by other alleged victims. Combs denies the allegations. In March 2024, federal agents raided his Los Angeles and Miami homes. Then 2 months later, CNN aired this graphic video from 2016, which appeared to show Combs attacking Ventura in a hotel hallway. He later apologized on social media.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Legal experts say defense attorneys will try to change public perception.
You want that jury seeing Mr. Combs as relatable, as human, as being a father.
Last week, Combs rejected a plea deal in this case. If convicted, he could possibly spend the rest of his life in prison. And jury selection is...
Now, what do you guys think about him apologizing, but allegedly he did not want the video to play in court? Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. What do you guys think about him not wanting that video to play in court? Let's continue. I rewinded it a little bit.
More cases have been filed by other alleged victims. Combs denies the allegations. In March 2024, federal agents raided his Los Angeles and Miami homes. Then 2 months later, CNN aired this graphic video from 2016, which appeared to show Combs attacking Ventura in a hotel hallway. He later apologized on social media.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Legal experts say defense attorneys will try to change public perception.
You want that jury seeing Mr. Combs as relatable, as human, as being a father.
Last week, Combs rejected a plea deal in this case. If convicted, he could possibly spend the rest of his life in prison. And jury selection is expected to move relatively swiftly, with opening statements scheduled to begin next Monday, May 12th. This trial is expected to run anywhere between 8 to...
Now, were you guys surprised that he did not take the plea deal? Let me know. 1, if you were surprised that he didn't take the plea deal. 2, if you were surprised that he didn't want to. Do you think he feels that he has an ironclad case and he knows what's on those tapes? A lot of people don't know. But do you think that he didn't take the plea deal because in his mind he don't think he did anything wrong? A lot of people were surprised that he didn't take that plea deal.
10 weeks. Reporting live from Lower Manhattan, Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
I'm going to rewind that one a little bit more.
Between 8 to 10 weeks. Trial is expected to run anywhere between 8 to 10 weeks.
Now, this should run between 8 to 10 weeks. I don't think a lot of people were reporting that. Okay, so let's get to the next clip. Like the video, like the video. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Are you guys surprised he did not take the plea deal? Do you think that his lawyers wanted him to take the plea deal and he decided no? Okay, let's, hold on. I'm getting the next clip ready. Hold on.
The trials will start tomorrow. We turn now to a major case that has dominated the headlines for months now. Jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs begins to...
Fair use reaction clip. Like I've said before, let me be very clear. He's innocent till proven guilty. A judge jury will have to decide if there's any wrongdoing on Diddy's side. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Tomorrow, and I did want to give you just a little bit of a background on this, as the trials will start tomorrow, beginning with jury selection at a federal courthouse in Manhattan. Testimony will likely start the following week. The three-time Grammy winner was indicted last September and has been since held in a federal jail in Brooklyn after judges ruled that he would be a threat to intimidate witnesses and victims if released. The 17-page indictment against Combs accuses him of using employees of his business endeavors, including record labels, a recording studio, and apparel line.
Be kind in the comments, you guys. YouTube will delete your comments. That's not even me. Be kind in the comments. Be respectful in the comments. Please, please, please. Over here, we don't mind people's opinions, but be kind. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Let's continue. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Let's continue.
An alcoholic spirits company, a marketing agency, a media company, and television network to facilitate his crimes through acts that included kidnapping, arson, and bribery. If convicted on all charges, which include racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transporting people across state lines to engage in prostitution, Combs faces a possible sentence of decades in prison. I do want to bring in criminal attorney Eric Faddis to speak more on this. And Eric, I appreciate you joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
Be with you, Stephanie.
So this case is going to have a lot of bombshell testimony, no doubt, but I want to start with jury selection that's expected to begin tomorrow. When it comes to what an ideal juror is for the defense and for the prosecution, what are each side looking for a juror?
Yeah, Stephanie, I think the defense is going to look for people who are open to non-traditional lifestyles, who can receive evidence of what defense will sort of style as sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and not get put off and not rush to judgment. On the flip side, the prosecution is going to be looking for folks who are not going to be distracted.
Like the video, like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Hello, London. Welcome, welcome. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Be kind in the comments. They will delete your comments. That's not even me. Be kind in the comments. Like I said before, Diddy's innocent till proven guilty. Let's continue. Let me rewind that a little bit.
And transporting people across state lines to engage in prostitution, Combs faces a possible sentence of decades in prison. I do want to bring in criminal attorney Eric Faddis to speak more on this. And Eric, I appreciate you joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
Be with you, Stephanie.
So this case is going to have a lot of bombshell testimony, no doubt, but I want to start with jury selection that's expected to begin tomorrow. When it comes to what an ideal juror is for the defense and for the prosecution, what are each side looking for a juror?
Yeah, Stephanie, I think the defense is going to look for people who are open to non-traditional lifestyles, who can receive evidence of what defense will sort of style as sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and not get put off and not rush to judgment. On the flip side, the prosecution is going to be looking for folks who are not going to be distracted by, the new shiny object over here, who are not going to get off course by any kind of circus that the DIDDY team may try to bring into this trial.
So, I mean, this has garnered much media attention. How does that factor in when it comes to selecting a jury? Because no doubt most people have heard of what is going on.
Totally. So it presents a significant problem. Here's the thing. The judge wants to find jurors who are fair and impartial and who have not already developed an opinion as to Diddy's guilt or innocence. Well, that's hard when every media outlet in the world has covered this case. They've likely already heard about it. And so what the judge is going to have to do is determine how much exposure the potential jurors have had to this Diddy saga and whether they can put that aside and simply base their verdict on what happens inside that courtroom and not.
Like the video, like the video. We're hearing what they're expecting from the jurors. Let's like the video reaction clip.
Everything that has gone on preceding that.
I also want to ask you this. One of Combs' attorney, and you mentioned this, the lifestyle of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. One of Combs' attorneys had mentioned, my client is not perfect, but everything that was done, was involving consensual adults. There's a lot of evidence, particularly the one with the videotape of Sean Diddy Combs and his then girlfriend, Cassie, showing that he was punching, kicking, and then dragging her inside an LA hotel. How significant is that piece of evidence? The Combs' attorneys, they didn't want this to be included. A judge ruled that it could be. So how pivotal is this particular piece of evidence?
Like the video, like the video. Thanks for tuning in. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in. I will have to time you out if you're disrespectful. He's innocent till proven guilty. A judge, jury will have to decide if there's any wrongdoing. So press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before and where you're watching from. Let's continue. Reaction clip.
Video of the Cassie Ventura assault can't be underestimated. So it's clearly inflammatory. Anyone who watches it, it evokes a feeling of, oh my gosh, I feel bad for this person. When we talk about the legal relevance of it, I think it goes more towards the RICO charge and less towards the sex trafficking charge, to show that Diddy engages in violence and threats of violence to silence people, to get his way. But of course, prosecutors will try to weave that video into
Hello,
the
Ohio.
sex trafficking
Hello,
charges,
London.
as Cassie Ventura is listed as victim number 1 in the sex trafficking count.
So let's talk about those charges, because obviously the prosecutors have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt some of these charges.
Okay, so let's listen to what the charges are.
Is, what do they have to present to actually indict Combs? Because a lot of this, is perhaps bad behavior, and no doubt his defense team is going to paint it as such. But how does it rise to the level of, let's say, racketeering and all these other charges?
Sure. So
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Hello, England. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Let's continue. Reaction clip.
First charge is racketeering. That is a law that was really developed to go after mafioso types, to go after crime families. Here, that they're saying that Bad Boy Entertainment was a criminal enterprise, and that Diddy engaged in multiple acts of predicate offenses. Those are listed as arson, bribery, kidnapping, that kind of thing. And that all of that was done in relation to and perhaps in furtherance of that criminal enterprise. Second, they are charging 2 counts of human or sex trafficking by fraud, force, or coercion. That's essentially that a commercial sex act was committed by fraud, force, or coercion. The prosecution is going to talk about drugging and that sort of thing. Lastly, they're charging interstate, essentially like an interstate act where Diddy's team recruited a commercial sex worker to help them transport that person across state lines for a commercial sex act. And so those are really the basics of the elements that the prosecution is going to seek to prove at trial.
We're going to hear from many witnesses, taking a stand. When you take a look at the scope of this trial, with jury selection beginning tomorrow and then likely testimony the following week, how long do you think this trial is going to last?
So let's hear how long, because they just said it a little while ago, like 10 minutes ago. Let's hear what he has to say. Like the video. Continue to hit the like button, you guys. We got 99 people in here, and we have 9 likes. Let's please get the likes to 50. Double tap the screen, hit the like button above the video, below the video. Let's continue.
I think some of the estimates that I've seen seem on the low end. I think this is going for weeks, if not months. This is a very involved indictment. It includes alleged offenses that span almost 2 decades, and there are going to be multiple witnesses and law enforcement investigators and everything under the sun. The jury's going to hear about all of that, and then the defense also has a chance to put on their case. They're going to put on their witnesses and try to establish that, hey, these acts, although they might be unsavory in some folks' eyes, they were not non-consensual, and because of that, they were not criminal acts.
There's been also a lot of discussion about whether Sean Diddy Combs himself will take stands. Defense teams often shy away.
So do you think he'll take the stand? Press 1 if you think he'll take the stand. Press 5 if you think he will not take the stand. Do you think he'll take the stand? Press 1 if you think he'll take the stand. Press 5 if you think he won't take the stand. Let's continue.
From that, even if someone is very keen on sharing their perspective, their truth, do you think that's going to happen, or do you think that he is not going to take the stand?
Yikes, I would absolutely advise him not to take the stand, in part because there's so much impeachment material that he would be confronted with while on the stand.
Yep.
The Cassie video in and of itself, the prosecutor would walk through that in painstaking detail and say, hey, is this you, kicking your girlfriend in the stomach while she's on the ground? Is this you dragging her by her hair? Don't you understand that could cause pain to somebody or cause them to be intimidated? Was that part of your design all along? All of these questions could be damning for Diddy, and I doubt that he would take the stand.
From your perspective as a criminal attorney, as we see this trial unfold, are you keeping a very close eye on anything in particular, whether it be certain witnesses, whether it be certain pieces of evidence? What are you really focusing on?
One thing that's really going to matter, I think, is how Cassie Ventura, victim 1, presents on the stand. She is a superstar.
So it's being reported that Cassie may take the stand. Are you guys surprised about that? Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Like the video as you guys come in. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
And she has alleged that she was sex trafficked and also physically assaulted and everything else. If she could convey the emotional reality of what she says happened to the jury, make them feel what she felt in those moments, that is going to go a long way. On the other hand, if she comes off as kind of a disgruntled and jilted former ex-lover who has an axe to grind against Diddy, that is going to score points for the defense. And so really her testimony is going to be key in this trial.
So, do you expect her to be the first witness called to the stand, or do you think that they're going to save that testimony to the very end?
Be kind in the comments. We don't do weird over here. So you got to be kind in the comments. We don't do weird stuff over here. We don't. We don't do weird comments. Be kind. Talk about the topic. Let us know where you're chiming in from or don't. But don't do weird comments. We don't play that over here. We're kind. We're considerate and we're respectful. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. I will time you out for 30 minutes. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
I'm not sure that they want to just play their entire hand right out of the gate. I think you sort of build up to it. You set the stage. You probably have some law enforcement witnesses who will talk about what Bad Boy Entertainment is, the investigation into the activities of that organization, and how that sort of gave rise to Diddy's feeling powerful and like he's untouchable. And then go into these specific acts that are alleged against Diddy with respect to sex trafficking, physical abuse, and that kind of thing.
Eric, it's going to be very interesting to see what comes of it. This is out of a New York City courtroom, so no camera.
So y'all let me know. What do you think is going to happen? This can go on alleged for several weeks. This could go on for several months. Who will take the stand? Who will testify? Who will plead the fifth? Who will, say, great guy, I saw nothing. Some of the celebrities. Are you guys surprised that a lot of celebrities haven't spoken? That says a lot. Ray J has said a few things. Who else has said a few things? Kanye West, he was quiet for months. Now, 2 months before, Kanye's saying certain things. Kanye's adding his daughter to a song. Well wishes to Kanye. Kanye's definitely not the same, for sure. Check out the Jason Lee and Candace Owens clip from this week. Candace Owens had a lot to say about Kanye. But yeah, it's definitely Hollywood weird. There's definitely situations of rise and fall. You guys remember the picture in regards to Kanye West, Diddy, and Jay-Z? And now there's so many different things that's being said about these men. And then you have a Shannon Sharpe situation, the rise and fall of people and their decisions. So when you become famous and you're doing well, you got to keep your nose clean. You got to, not get into a situationship, because these men, Kanye West was a billionaire. Diddy was a billionaire. And there's so many situations. And this is the other thing that some of me and my friends have talked about. The cleanup of Hollywood. Now people can go in Hollywood and hopefully not feel that they have to do X, Y, or Z to get a role, to sing on an album. There's so much going on. There needed to be a cleanup. Cat Williams told us that 2024 people will be exposed. 2025, more people are going to be exposed. Real talk. This should not be happening. There's so much that's happening in the industry. And see, this is the other thing me and my friends talked about. They want to push this narrative in regards to, it's almost like they want to have a pool of people that they can mess with. You understand what I'm saying? You got, you got women that's dressing like women. You got women that's dressing like men. You got men that's almost dressing like women. What's really going on? When you look at the Met Gala, people are saying, what's going on with these outfits? You know what I mean? There's just a lot going on, and people are doing a lot to be accepted. Do you, for you, be you, but don't do a lot to be accepted. Don't try and take a role or get part of a song and you have to, sacrifice anything. You should always be able to be you, and you should not have to do anything you don't want to do. When you guys look back at, my videos, we talked about the lawsuits. I really didn't read into the lawsuits. We would hear about what was being talked about in the lawsuits. As more lawsuits came out about him, it became harder and harder for people to read them, because we can't confirm or deny if those things happen. And the biggest thing is, with a lot of the accusers and the accusations, I would hope that People went to the police, they got a police report, and got a kit done at a hospital. If you don't have those attachment to it, it makes it hard to whether what's being said is true or false. And this is the biggest thing. We want all victims to be believable and to be trusted. And this is the biggest thing. Some people were hearing, some people were fearful of going to the police, going to the hospital. You gotta remember. You remember when they were talking about Cassie, and sometimes they would put her up in a hotel for her bruises to allegedly be healed. The alleged bodyguard said he would take her to a hotel, lock her up, and let her bruises heal. Excuse me, what? So sometimes she alleged wasn't able to go to the hospital or go to the police and show what was going on with her. This is the other thing, you guys. Stop playing with me. My page, we remember a lot. You remember when the alleged video from the hotel situation happened? Do you guys remember? It was being reported that didn't Diddy call Cassie saying, Cassie, the police is here. Help me out. Do y'all remember that being reported? Some people are forgetting that. Some people are forgetting that because it was almost reported in the lawsuit. Diddy was trying to reach out to Cassie when that happened. And he's like, Cassie, I got kids. Help me out. Do y'all recall that or not? Look it up. I think it's being reported that he was trying to reach out to Cassie when he did those alleged situations in the video to her. And then he doesn't want the video shown, but you apologize though. So, and then some are saying that he might claim that he was utilizing things and he wasn't in his right mind. So there's a lot going on. But Holly Weird had to be exposed. A judge jury's going to have to decide. He's innocent to proven guilty. A judge jury's going to have to decide if there's any wrongdoing on his side. Period. Whether there are police reports, whether there are hospital reports, you know, if somebody's, when you go to the hospital, if there's any testing that's done that connects you to that person. Do you get what I'm saying? I have to watch what I say. But, you know, this is a very serious case. It really is. And there's a lot going on. I don't think we're done, you guys. I don't think we're done. The Shannon Sharp situation is not easy. Jay-Z, that situation where that one young girl was trying to report, that case didn't make sense and we talked about it. Some people were trying to push that narrative. Oh yeah, no. The father didn't even remember taking that girl or picking the girl. The father didn't even remember picking her up. How could you say you picked up your daughter 5 hours away? Y'all didn't talk. Y'all didn't say nothing. Bathroom stops. Y'all didn't talk. So that case didn't seem right to a lot of us. Other people were trying to push that narrative. So I'm glad that Jay-Z spoke up for himself regarding that case. So that's why we have to say, with all the lawsuits that's presented, you know, he's innocent till proven guilty. And I would hope that if there was a situation ship, you did go to the police or you got a, you know, hospital, you know, a report attached to that. Yeah. Yeah, that whole situation didn't sound right. And then the girl that drove her there left her there? What? How's that possible? And then the girl that allegedly drove her there is no longer with us. So nobody could confirm or deny what happened with that girl. And then this is the biggest thing. You go to a gas station and the gas station doesn't call the police or an ambulance. You're waiting for your father who's 5 hours away. That didn't make sense either. So certain situations, and there were certain pages I was trying to push a narrative. Yes, it happened. Oh, it was at this house. And I don't know, you guys. I've been gone for 2 months. Some of these people on YouTube are drinking a lot. They're making weird comments. I'm listening to stuff and it's like, what? Let's get to the topic. Why are you so drunk on YouTube? You're not concerned about you saying the wrong thing? But okay, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. But yeah. So let's listen to the last part of this. But yeah, many people felt that they're not surprised that he didn't take a plea deal. Is that a part of who he is? Or is it that his lawyers say we can beat this? We'll see. Unless, like I said, we'll see what celebrity will have to take the stand, what celebrity will plead the fifth. We'll see. Not a lot of celebrities are saying anything, but like I said before, He's innocent till proven guilty. A judge jury will have to decide if he's done any wrongdoing. There has to be proof. Let's continue.
A disgruntled and jilted former ex-lover who has an axe to grind.
Be kind in the comments. YouTube will delete you. Be kind in the comments. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. This is my second live in the last 2 months. So I'm glad you guys are coming in. Hello, hello, hello. I'm missing my Paris. Paris probably didn't know I was going to go live. So if Paris does come in, hello, Paris. We're missing you. Still trying to work some things out. I've been doing my shorts, though. Come on in, coming in. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before where you're watching from. Welcome, welcome, you guys. I'm back. Let's listen to the last part of this video.
Against Diddy, that is going to score points for the defense. And so really her testimony is going to be key in this trial.
So, do you expect her to be the first witness called to the stand, or do you think that they're going to save that testimony to the very end?
I'm not sure that they want to just play their entire hand right out of the gate. I think you sort of build up to it. You set the stage. You probably have some law enforcement witnesses who will talk about what Bad Boy Entertainment is, the investigation into the activities of that organization, and how that sort of gave rise to Diddy's feeling powerful and like he's untouchable. And then go into the specific acts that are alleged against Diddy with respect to sex trafficking, physical abuse, and that kind of thing.
Eric, it's going to be very interesting to see what comes of it. This is out of a New York City courtroom, so no cameras allowed inside. But
no cameras.
Oftentimes we do get some of those photos prior to.
But there is a reporter that is texting, and he's telling what's happening in the courthouse. So I will be watching pages that talk about that, so I can get the general information about what's happening in court. So there are people that are texting what's transpiring in court. So we'll stay on top of that.
Them closing the doors to the media. It's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of it. And no doubt, Eric, we're going to be speaking with you.
So that comes from Live Now. I always try and tell you guys where I'm pulling information. So everyone, focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Let me go ahead and do my disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. No comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I thank everyone for being here, tuning in. You guys, please like the video. There's about 92 people in here. If I could please get people to double tap the screen to hit the like button, or hit the like button above the video, below the video. It's the thumbs up. Let's get the likes to 50, please. Let's get the likes to 50. So what do you guys think is going to transpire today? A lot of this information is from yesterday. I'm going to play one more. Yeah. Like the video. Hold on one second. Let's see if people are outside the courthouse again. I just didn't want to do a video of just me playing the video of them just being outside the courthouse.
With 19 jurors.
Hold on.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Our next story takes us out to the Big Apple as Sean Diddy Combs will be back in court today for day 2.
Now, this is 4 hours ago. Like the video. Can I please get like 50 likes, you guys? Double tap the screen to hit the like, or hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Let's continue.
Of his sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Jury selection is set to resume with 19 jurors from the first day's pool moving on to the next stage. Fox 5 New York's Briella Tomasetti joins us live this morning outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan with the very latest details. A lot of eyes on this case, Briella. Good morning.
Gina, good morning to you, and I can tell you this, it's expected to be another busy day at court. As a reminder, yesterday, potential jurors were given a brief explanation of the charges. The judge also told them that the defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That defendant, of course, Sean Diddy Combs, walked into the courtroom yesterday wearing a sweater over a white-collared shirt and gray slacks. He hugged his attorneys when he got in. As proceedings got underway, Judge Arun Subramanian jokingly compared the long list of the prospective jurors to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Several of them said they already saw a key piece of evidence in this case, video of Combs beating R&B singer and ex-girlfriend.
See, they're talking about the video. They're talking about his wardrobe. They're talking about him hugging his attorneys when they got in there. This is from today, you guys. Like the video. We still only have 10 likes. Can I please get 50 people to hit the like button? Just double tap the screen, please. Double tap the screen, please. Hit the thumbs up above the video, below the video. Let's continue.
Ventura inside a Los Angeles hotel. One woman was dismissed after describing a still image she saw from that video as, quote, damning evidence. Ventura, one of the 4 accusers, is expected to testify. By day's end, some were disqualified for personal reasons or because their opinions or past experiences would impact their objectivity. One prospective juror said she liked a video on social media posted by a comedian who joked about large amounts of baby oil found by law enforcement in the superstar's homes. She was not dismissed. At one point, Combs asked for a bathroom break, telling the judge he was a little nervous. The court ultimately hopes to seat all 12 jurors plus 6 alternates by the end of this week before opening statements begin on Monday. All of them, by the way, will remain anonymous. Prosecutors have argued that Combs used his power to force women to participate in sex performances called freak-offs. His defense team insists everything was consensual. The hip-hop mogul denies the allegations and has pleaded not guilty to federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Now, as you mentioned, Gina, 19 people from that first group of potential jurors are still in the running, and 36 more are expected to be questioned today. For now, we're live here, though, in Lower Manhattan. We'll send it back inside to you.
So that's the biggest thing. Do you guys think that, with the jurors, they're going to go through a lot of people just to make sure they have the proper jury selection? So they're still doing jury selection. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
All right, Fox 5 New York's Briella Tomasetti. Briella, thank you so much for the detailed breakdown. We'll see how day 2 goes and check in with you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you. And I want to share with you this latest tweet coming down on X this morning from the New York Post. It says, quote, Diddy makes sobering admission about his emotions as jury selection in bombshell NYC sex trafficking trial kicks off. So we are keeping a close eye on this case right here on Live Now from Fox. Of course, cameras not allowed inside of the courtroom because of the high profile case and all of the media attention that has surrounded this case far before a jury selection kicked off yesterday. But you can get the latest details right here on Live Now from Fox. So make sure you are staying tuned.
Yeah, so there's that. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay, so that was a reaction clip. Okay, you guys, that is information from yesterday and information from today. They're still doing jury selection. This case allegedly could go for weeks or months or a month. We'll see what happens. So I thank everyone for being here. I thank everyone for tuning in. Please continue to hit the like button, you guys. Please continue to hit the like button. All it is a double tapping of the screen. Double tap, double tap. And or you could hit the like button above the video, below the video. Like I said, this is my second live in 2 months. I have been doing shorts. Go ahead, check out my shorts in regards to the Met Gala. You can note in the comments who is your favorite outfit. I like the Diana Ross outfit. I like the Tiana Taylor outfit. There was a lot of great outfits last night. Did you guys watch in regards to the Met Gala? Do you really care about? Yes, we do care. We do care because Hollywood, there's a lot going on and people need to know what's really going on. This is what YouTube is. You hit the button because you see his face. Yes, we care. This is educating people of what's going on. And men, women need to be safe. That's what we focus on. Healthy, safe relationships. Yes, we care. You hit the button. So you must care too. Yeah, so like the video as you guys come in. I appreciate you all for being here. My page don't play. I'm very kind, very considerate, but you talk a little sideways, I'm going to give it to you. So I think a lot of people want to have a safer way to get into Hollywood. They don't want to do XYZ for a role. They don't want to do XYZ to get a part in a movie. They don't want to do XYZ to be a part of a song. I think whenever you go into Hollywood, whether you're in acting or a musician, you should always be able to be safe. You shouldn't have to help people in the weirdness. This weirdness has been going on for years, but we can't confirm or deny if he did anything in regards to any illegal things, because you got to realize some of these men pages are saying he's just having fun with friends. What? Some people are saying things were spiked. But like I said, a jury will have to decide if there's any wrongdoing. If someone was affected by touching something, drinking something, that's what we're talking about. There's a RICO. Many people are realizing if you live in one state and a guy uh, sends flight information for you to come and see him, many people are feeling that that's trafficking. So many people are learning a lot of what not to do, what not to say, what not to do on camera at a hotel. What happened to Cassie should have never happened. And there are women that are out there that's dealing with men saying things or doing things. So this is educating people to be safe. Hmm. My page is a little bit different. I have friends that's dealt with stuff. You know what I mean? So, yes, we're going to put the information out there. So, I'm not certain if I'll go live again tonight or if I'll go live again tomorrow morning. I normally go live 10, 10:30, or 11, 11:30. But today I had some things I had to take care of, so I went live a little bit later. And there are men that's dealing with things with women too. Oh, yes, you're right. Yes, there are people in relationships that are dealing with things, men and women. There are kids that's dealing with things in regards to parents. There are kids that's dealing with things in regards to weird uncles and aunts. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that's going on in the world. So it's important for us to come over here, safe space to educate people to be safe in regards to your environments. In regards to your environments. Hollywood, Hollyweird. People should not have to do X, Y, and Z to get a part or a role. There needs to be a major cleanup. We saw things that happened in regards to a lot of other celebrities prior to this, and people were still doing things, you know? So I hope everyone is safe. Talk to your children, talk to your sisters, talk to your aunts, talk to your mothers. Make sure they are in healthy and safe relationships. Let that man know. Let your daughter know, I'm here for you, I'm here for you, I'm here for you. Let your son know. Sons are going through things too. Daughters are going through things too. Let your child know, I am here for you. Always be in a safe environment. And if there's a situation where you're feeling unsafe, call me, catch your Uber, Lyft. Let's get you to a safe environment. I've seen things, I've heard things, and it's concerning. It's concerning of things that happens in, people's homes, on the streets. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing, for us to be safe. And like I said, judge, jury's going to have to decide if there's any wrongdoing on Diddy's side. But I thank everyone for being here. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. And I will talk to you guys soon in regards to doing another live. This is my second live in 2 months. I've been extremely busy, but I'm glad to be here, and I hope all of you have a great day. Have a enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, because I will. Thanks for being here, everyone. Be blessed. Goodbye.